And you understand the attitude there, right? I want a God who's like me, on my level. That's how I want to worship. And this is what God sees then in all image worship and all false worship. You're not worshiping me according to who I say I am. You're worshiping a God, a false God, according to what you want. And this, beloved, I hope you see, is not just the sin of pagan people. The heathen do this. They craft their own false gods. Why would God have to come to the people of Israel and say, I don't want you to learn from them? Because the people of Israel had a tendency to do this too, didn't they? And this is not just a problem or a sin that we find in the Roman Catholic Church or in liberal Christian church, but this morning, as we come to God, or God comes to us in the second commandment and says, don't worship, don't serve any graven images, don't think of me any way that you want to think of me. I think we all need to look in our hearts and say, this is a sin I often struggle with. I do want a God who's like me, little g God. I want a God who serves my needs. I want a God who makes me happy. A God who always approves of my thoughts and my lifestyle. A God who never comes to me with any admonition, any criticism for sin. I want a God who's always comforting me. And I wonder, beloved, we can point the finger at others and say, they make a false God of a God who has no justice, no holiness, no righteousness. He's only love. But I wonder how often we try to make God that kind of a God. The God only of love that we want. In the second commandment, God says, here's my regulation for you. It not only has to do with what you make with your hands or what you do outwardly, but it has to do with your heart and your head. You may not think of me the way you want me to be, but positively, you must think of me the way I think of me and the way I tell you I am. This is the only true way to worship God. It's not about me. It's not about what I feel, what I want. And beloved, this is very important practically, isn't it? We know that there are all kinds of people, and we tend to be this kind of people too, looking for what church am I going to be a member of? Where am I going to worship? How am I going to worship? And the discussion quickly becomes about what I want and how I feel in the worship service. And God is saying that's not what it's about. It's about what I want.